Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another dose of Prominence, episode number 7, I think it is. And we are being harassed by a big green dude. Is it a troll or an ogre or some sorts? I don't know. Who knows? It could be anything in this mod pack. Changes since the last episode. So you remember the dam was externally complete. And I think for the first time in this series, I'm actually showing you behind the dam. So this is the water that has built up behind the dam, as you can see. It's pretty significant. However, I've actually kept on pumping the water out into this lake here. So we've got more of a reasonable body of water. And it's infinite, so we've got water, infinite water if we need it. And yes, that's going to be very useful because over here in this beautiful environment, this mountain valley, we will be building our first proper factory. Let's grab a boat and head over there and I'll talk you through some of the plans that I have. I'll tell you what, this is as close to paradise as you can get in this game, I think. It's stunning around here and you can understand... back away, back away. Okay, maybe not complete paradise. I don't even have my sword on me. I am very unprepared. That's all right. Good job the sunshine is out. There are some rather odd looking creepers over there. Skeleton creepers. And they pack quite a bit of punch. Believe me. Right. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes. This idyllic location is where I'm going to build my first factory. So I've thought about long and hard about the approach. There's a tower over there. Anyway, stop getting distracted. Long and hard about the approach to this factory, and whether I mean, let me just say one thing, that is Tango Tech that is the man responsible for me getting into this, the create mod anyway. So this will be a create factory, but I'm well aware there are other mods in this mod pack that we can combine and use the best bits of each mod. So applied energistics is basically turning items into digitizing items effectively and storing them on disks, and that could be incredibly useful from a storage point of view. But I love the visual representation of creating or processing items. And so I kind of want to stick to that from a processing point of view and maybe use applied energistics more as a storage and item inventory management mod. But I've got to learn all about that because it's a huge mod to get your head around. So first step here, this very scenic location is going to be factory number 1, which will be an iron factory. I have tinkered with the idea of, like Tango in his current or recent Create series, having an all-in-one factory. But I just thought, now with this mod pack, I will be pushing my computer beyond its limits. I'm pretty sure of that. And so I'm going to divide up the factories into different parts of this world and just choose beautiful locations, link them all with trains, and have a central storage area. So kind of have spread out processing facilities and a centralized storage hub, all using trains. And believe me, I cannot wait to get going with them. Right, the first step in my factory plan is power. We have the dam, which is full of lava. However, I'm pretty sure it's out of simulation distance. We're quite far away. I mean, that's the back end of the lake behind the dam, so it's way over there. So I don't think a power station in the dam would be possible this far away. So I think we're going to have localized power. We have unlimited lava, and that's great. And so we can use that to build some local power sources, some steam engines. And what I want to do here is this factory is probably build a power station in this hole here. Just a reasonably small sort of steam engine. So water, lava, and pistons. And yeah, have it in this chunk. I'm going to try and contain this factory into just a few chunks. So everything's within render distance, simulation distance. So I can just stand in the middle and my iron can be produced. And then I will look at another location for a gold factory, for a quartz factory, and possibly even an andesite alloy factory. That might have to come next after this because it's pretty fundamental and it's a bit of a pain to make at the moment. But as with everything in this mod pack, it could be automated. So we'll look into doing that as soon as we get power up and running. So I need to kind of look at some designs, some inspiration, and yeah, I'll come back when I have a little bit more progress made. Right, inventory has been collected for the power station. There's some interesting stuff in here. Some new things, which include the mechanical arm, which needs a precision mechanism, I think it's called, as does, I think, the rotation speed controller as well. And this precision mechanism, what a pain. I mean, seriously, 5 times you have to do 3 things 5 times, and it took me a while. Luckily I didn't need that many, but there's certainly a candidate for automation once I get the factory up and running. But first, the power station. I've rigged up this schematic cannon to work in this area here. The trouble is, I've actually tried it a couple of times and it's crashing the game every time it lays one block and then crash. So I'm going to try one more time, and then if it doesn't work, we'll have to go manual, I'm afraid. Anyway, fingers crossed. We're primed. We're ready to go. In fact, let's just check these settings. Replace solid with any tactile entities. Yes, I think that's skip the missing blocks. There shouldn't be any. I'm just gonna hope that works, and if this crashes, then yeah, I'd rather not think about it. Yes, it's crashed. No, keeps crashing. One bit of pipe at a time, and yeah, it keeps crashing. So there is an error with the pipe rendering. So I'm going to lay the pipes myself and see what happens after that. Okay, that's a good start. These are the pipes that will supply will empty the cauldrons, so it's the same sort of farm. It's a self-sufficient farm, but the cauldrons, where are they? Yeah, so they have a use from the last place, which I've decommissioned in the dam, but each of these cauldrons will supply all the lava I need for the blaze burners. And so it should be quite a straightforward and no other dependencies needed type of farm. Finally, it is done. It was just some sort of bug with placing the pipes from the cannon. I'm not sure what that's all about. I've never had a problem with the cannon before. But either way, it gives you a good idea now of how this thing works. So yes, the lava tanks here will drip through the dripstone and fill up the cauldrons, which will be collected by the pipes. And when I need to get some priming power for this, by the way, but when that does kick in, these fluid containers will fill up and they will then go shot up through a pump. I'm not describing this very well, but they'll be fed to the blaze burners, which will heat the water, create power, and it will just self-sustain forever and ever and ever. So I'm pretty happy with this. I've had a play about in my creative world with this, and it seems to work pretty well. But what I do need to do is get some power just to kick it into life. So I'm just going to now go and build a quick windmill. Okay, we have a crude power source up there, which I've not yet connected to the system, because I still need to get water into the cooling area, which I think is up at the top here. How do I get there? Do I have any blocks that I can use? No, I don't. Right, here we go. So these guys need feeding, and I need to waterlog these stairs. Okay, so They've all been waterlogged, so there's now water in the system. Of course, there's no movements. You'll certainly know when it's moving, believe me. So now it's probably, or hopefully, I wish I hadn't have taken my scaffolding down, a matter of connecting that up. Right, where's my scaffolding? Let's see if this works. No, it doesn't. It is overstressed. So does that mean there's too much? This contraption is overstressed. Add more sources or slow down the components with a high stress impact. So this needs more. This needs more power. Make the sail bigger then, I guess. Well, it's always working. The actual solution to this was to actually build it the other side. So yeah, we had a few minutes of a windmill on that side and it kicked it in. It's going very slowly. I can only assume that it's needing to cycle stuff around. See, that's getting taken out, so it is moving around the system. It's filling up this fluid container here. And oh, I know what I haven't put. Buckets. There's no buckets in the system. The only thing it's lacking at the moment is heat from these guys down here. So why aren't the buckets flowing around the system? That's what I want to know. So I need to manually feed them. So this is taking lava from the pool below. This is confusing. This is very confusing. Now we're going. It took a little while to kick in, and I actually gave some lava to some of the blazes. And you can see the heat is going up. The engine chuggy pistony things, I apologise, whatever they're called, but they're going faster. You're getting a satisfying chug noise. And we have, I think, a working power station that's completely self-sufficient, ignoring the little problems with the schematic cannon, but it's pretty easy to build, to be honest. The hardest thing is just getting all the equipment for it in the first place. Yeah, we should have plenty of power in the hundreds of thousands of stress units, and here we go, 114, so 4 times 114. So we've got almost 500,000 stress units coming from that, and there's no inputs or outputs in terms of fuel or anything like that. Self-sufficient, which means I can now get on with the rest of my factory. So it's time to use your imagination. So here we are, the engine room of the factory. This is actually going to be in the basement. The block above this encased chain drive here will be the floor of the factory. So we will have power running all along the factory, this side and this side, and probably that side and that side as well if I decide to expand in the future. And this will be available under the ground, so under the floor, to power all the machines that I need to build to turn cobblestone into iron. So next step now is to build a floor. So hopefully you can get an idea of what I'm trying to do here now. So this flooring allows me to cover up the unsightly shafts which are underneath. Can I see this? There we go. You can see just about in the gloominess, you can see the shafts moving, and the idea is to bring the power up to the floor level when we need it. So I'll have to build the machines, and then I can then bring the power up through the floor using a vertical gearbox like this. And then the idea would be this is going to be where all the machinery is along this bit here, and then there'll be the flooring will extend to the sides. There'll be some sort of pathways, so to make sure I can keep an eye on the machines and maintain them. Yeah, it's a bit framey already, and I'm a little bit worried about when I build a cobblestone generator right on top of this thing. Maybe when it's out of sight it'll be less laggy, maybe. But for now, I think I need to get to sleep. Oh, it's so peaceful up here now that I've covered up those engine turbine-y piston-y things. You can still hear it. Just about. But yeah, ultimately, this is what we want at the factory floor. We just want to have this. So we have power that we could just plug into. Consider this a plug socket for all of the wonderful contraptions we're going to be building. So we'll be starting off in the middle here with a cobble generator. One that is a little bit more industrial than the ones I've created before. And heading this way, by the time we get to about here, we should have iron ingots. We should have lots of iron ingots if I've done my preparation and planning correctly. So it's all about managing the bottlenecks in terms of the different processing parts of the supply chain. I think that's the right word, the logistics, and making sure there's no bottlenecks and getting to the end here as quickly as possible. But also, Create has this wonderful feature, stockpile switches, where you can actually monitor the storage and actually turn machines off when they get to a certain stock level, which is great in a heavily modded and not exactly free-flowing from the frames point of view world. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy working here. This is very spectacular, isn't it? An iron factory will be built here, and then there is actually, if I can show you on the map here, there is another little valley as well. I'm not sure what that is, but there's another little valley here that we could build another factory in, so we can actually have them scattered around to help with the lag, but also fairly close, so a train line could be built all the way along here. While I'm on this map, I didn't have noticed, that we have a village here without a name. In fact, we have a village there without a name. And so there was a little competition I put in one of the previous videos where I asked what version of the game was diorite added. And the answer was, of course, 1.8. And that was correctly answered by Brady Fletcher. And so I will name probably this village here after that person. So Brady Fletcher, please comment in this video what you want the village name to be. So Brady Town, Fletcherville, something like that. Let me know. Within reason, of course. Nothing too crazy, please. The power station is now fully operational, thankfully. And just a little bit of advice for those that are trying to build this themselves. I can't actually get up there anymore. And let's just pop it into camera. I had to adjust you can just probably see a mechanical arm down there. The problem I was having was that this mechanical arm wasn't actually working, and the same on the other side as well. There's a mechanical arm either side, and their job is very simple. It's to take the filled buckets of lava and pass them onto a blaze so that it effectively lights their fire. And that wasn't working, so I've had to change the design from the downloadable schematic that Triobian actually supplied, and I've added an item filtered with a lava bucket brass funnel, which are very expensive to make. Anything with brass is expensive at the moment for me, but it does mean with this additional depot up here, a bucket will be filled up. You can probably just saw that then. It's putting it back. In fact, it's probably not actually doing anything, quite simply because there are no blazes in need of fuel. But yeah, so that's what you need to do. If you go on the Triobian's channel, there's a community tab and there's an explanation on a fix for that, because not everyone seems to be experiencing that. But I was, but now sorted. And we are now at level 9 boiler status, which is the maximum level, I believe, for each of these. So nearly 150,000 stress units each. So that's basically 600,000 stress units in total for this little power station. Up top, I've made a few cosmetic changes. So I've actually marked out these double andesite casing rows are effectively the chunk borders. So the chunk border is in the middle of these two across here. So this is not important. It's not necessarily needed for this, but in terms of just designing redstone things in the past, and of which redstone will be minimal in these create builds. But I want to keep things in the chunk, and that's how I want to organize this factory. Is this central chunk here, right below us, is the power station, and right above it here will be the cobblestone generator, which will be the first step on every process, and especially for iron. We probably only need this length here before we end up with iron ingots, which will be nice. But I might try and do some more factories in this direction, more processing machinery contraptions in this direction, and then we'll see what the lag's like. And as soon as I can get enough materials, and I need to work out exactly what materials I need, I want to build a railway. I'm going to build a railway along here, down to the village, past the dam, and beyond. And of course, the other side of this set of mountains up here is another little beautiful picturesque valley that I will probably build something different in. Who knows what? Who knows what? Right, on this misty morning up in the mountains, I am delighted to say that the next machine is pretty much ready. This is the cobblestone generator, another Triobian design. I think that's how you say his name. And this design is really quite amazing. It doesn't actually involve drills to destroy. The design works just like any other cobblestone generator in that it generates cobblestone with lava and water meeting, and that whole process is repeated here. But instead of the genius part of this is instead of actually drilling each block, it does this kind of shaky thing where I think the trapdoors, the spruce trapdoors up here, are somehow used by going left and right. They break the block. They must do some sort of thing to the block. I don't really understand that, to be quite honest with you. If anyone can explain why that happens, please do let me know. I've got a few more priming things to do, as with most create machines. I've got to add lava to the tanks. I've got to submerge those pumps with water, otherwise we won't have any cobblestone. And obviously start thinking about outputs as well. So these at the moment are pointing in so that we don't get cobblestone coming out. Okay, the water is now done. All of these pumps are submerged, and so that will mean cobblestone can be generated. But the other component, of course, is lava. Now, I'm not 100% sure how I can get lava into these containers without using some sort of mechanical stuff. Can I just... Ooh, nope. Okay, I can't do that. That's, I need to think about how I'm going to do this. And, yeah, I've only ever built this in creative, but you can do that in creative. You can't do that in survival. Right. One moment, please. I wonder what happens if I put lava... If I right-click on this, there'll be lava on top of it. I'm pretty sure of that. And I'll end up burning myself. In fact, let's try it. Yeah. Okay. That's not the way to go. What if I just throw the item in there? Oh, I know, I get it. I'm on fire. So it contains a lava bucket. Items move downwards, so the lava bucket... Oh, okay, I put it back. That doesn't work either. How on earth do I fill fluids? Next attempt is using an item drain, which I've never used before. So I'm hoping it's just a matter of putting that in there, which I still think is empty. I'm wondering whether a pipe with an item drain on top would work. There's no way to power this block as far as I'm aware. Okay, well, done. I had to power it. I had to power it with a pump that sucked this out of here and put it in here and do it for all three of them, which is done. So we now have water and we now have lava, which should mean we now have cobble. I need to sleep and then we'll try it out in the morning. I have a redstone link here that is using 2 cobblestone frequencies, which links up to the clutch up there. So I need to reroute this power using these trapdoors. Will help. Reroute this power and then we should be ready to rock. Oh, laggy. It's working. Get down without breaking my legs. Check it out. 35 frames per second. And look at... Ah, that's where all my shafts have gone. I've got shafts in there. That's where they all disappeared to. Yes, but see, already 2,000 cobblestone. So, as long as you don't mind the frame dip. It's been a long time since I've seen 20 frames per second on Minecraft. But yeah, I can fill this up pretty quick and then stop it and then build the rest of the factory. But I think that's enough for this episode. It's been an episode of learning how to create contraptions, more grand create contraptions than the basic ones that I've been using so far. Let's give ourselves a bit more distance. There we go. So with this beautiful backdrop, I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep the comments coming. I really appreciate comments. So even if you've just got to say, that was nice, I enjoyed that, or maybe you could do more of that, I'd really appreciate it. Right, okay, and that's how quickly the weather turns. I will see you all next time here on Prominence. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.